Hello, hello everyone. Rhoda here. I've got a second paper bag journal totally done. I've got the cover on here finally. I love this window. I love these really big windows, especially the one that's on the third paper bag journal. But I won't be showing you that until the next video. Okay, so I have the bat breaking out of the window. These are those acetate panes that had like the little broken areas in them. And you can't really see it that well, but you will be able to see it on the next one I'm going to show you. But the Raven is in here talking to his buddies. I really love this Craftly Hall paper. Finally got some ink, y'all. Say cheers to Rhoda. Okay, I bought some at Walmart, and I still haven't got it in the computer, but I can make me up a whole lot more of these cool Craftly Hall papers. Because she had a backgrounds of digital that you could buy besides the Craftly Hall one. And it had some really cool papers in it. And so I've got the lady and the gentleman. I had just 4 of these people left over. So I kind of put them on what I considered a frame. It was just a scrap that I had. And I did go through and put a lot of these words. I want to try to use them up. And this one says, "I'm walking in the graveyard now." Kind of gruesome. And then we have the haunted house, which this is the way I was doing it. I made a kind of like a template to go behind here, and I could put any kind of little scrap of paper that I had to be the light shining through the windows. Well, as you'll see on my Rhoda's Junk page, if you still follow that, I accidentally laid one of the houses. Let me find one. I was just kind of trying to get a decent house. I was just trying to stack them up over there one day, and I laid it over top of it like that. And I thought, oh my God, that is perfect. I don't have to cut up another piece of paper and put behind there. Looks exactly like the light shining through with that big moon. So that was perfect. So that will probably be the way I do those anymore. Now, it doesn't have to be a yellow moon. You can make a green moon. I may do that for one of them. Um, but I've got a few bats hanging around here in the darkened house of weeping. Ooh. I got this little lady who is supposedly, this one's got a strange thing happened. So strange things are happening in this book. So she is like the giant woman. What is that movie, the old movie? The Incredible Growing Woman, the Incredible Giant Woman. I can't remember how that is. There was one for a man too, I believe. Because I remember him fighting this huge spider, and he took a nail and drove it through the middle of the spider and killed it because the spider's trying to suck him dry. So anyhow, I did have one of the papers from one of the sticker books that had a lot of like hinges and lock mechanisms and stuff. So I was trying to put those through here because it's sort of like a haunted housey kind of feeling too. Now this piece here, these two were actually together, and they were the inside of one of the doors. And you could use that piece, or you didn't have to. So I cut them apart and made them fence posts. You know me, I'm going to use up something. The moon here, as in the other one I showed you, I didn't like that you could see through to the paper beyond. So I actually re-stamped these on a piece of scrap sprayed paper. And I like it a whole much better. Yeah, it really sets it off. I got the 31 over here with my little extra scarecrow guy. Embodied spirits haunted him by night. And then over here, gathering of ominous forces. And I thought that was perfect for the group of bats going up through there. Adding me a kitty cat. And this one's just like a Mod Podge. I had some little people behind there, but I didn't like them, so I put that on top. Now, I had somebody, I think it was Wayne, sent me these little stampings of mushrooms. I think that's the only one I have in here. The other one's a spider. But we have big old thing of flowers here because she is marrying her love. He is dead. A small grinning skull is what that one says. uh, She didn't like him for his looks alone, in other words. Okay. Here is one of the frames that they had, and they sent these pictures as well. There were several, like, professional sort of pictures in one of the, I think it was the baseboard and layer set. And so I just put there are others. Like, there's this movie with Nicole Kidman, and I think it's called The Others, and it's real spooky. There's always fog or something going on. It's a humongous house, and she goes through and she locks the door behind her everywhere she goes because she's got two children, and I think they're allergic to sunlight or something. So she's always afraid somebody's going to leave a window open or a door where the light's going to get in and get to them. But anyway, everybody was dead. I didn't realize any of it. The husband was away at war, and I think he finally made his way back in one of the episodes or something of it, and it was creepy. It was really creepy. Yeah, here's another spider, and here's a little couple of twin boys, and I put vanishing visitors there. I wasn't quite sure what their story was. And back here is this real spooky looking lady. There was also one of these covers with a oval insert. So I made her a photo. She's got her a spider going up through there. And it says, "In the dark and haunted room." Because it's sort of got like little, like a block work or something around here. Like you can see inside of the room. And then we got the appearance of evil on these two little kids. Now this is actually the top of where you could put it on one of those large doorways. It's not the doorway. It's on the one with the little witch girl. So you could have put that on the top for a doorway. But instead I put it like it was the sill. And it had that relief or whatever carved into the bottom of it. I put the two shutters here in this cool little attic looking window. And these two creepy little kids are peeking out. They're probably so bad that they got locked in the attic. That's probably what happened to them. Okay, enough of that one. Oh. So, we are into the last witchy book. I don't know why I've got this part marked. I got it marked for something, and I have no idea what. But this is the one where she's got her mushrooms. And this is some of her equipment. There's her broom. I think this may have been the first one I made. I love these kind of, what are these, like rice papery things that Wayne sent me. I still got one more over there, and I'm trying to figure out whether I'm going to make another book like this. But I got to find one that's got these great papers. So, I need to lay out what all I do have here. I'm going to kind of put this to the side because I'm right-handed, you know. And we have a pumpkin, a scarecrow, the word fright, all of these with the collection specimens, some skulls, and this little creepy girl. I got me a few Tim Holtzy people, so let me put her up here. I got this lady that is a perfect looking witch. I may have used up all the hats, but I may still have another hat over here that I can put with her. This is that really cool looking piece. I need to cut the outside of it off though. And I have all the other all the other books filled except for the last looks kind of thing. And it may be all I need to do is go through there and put some words and names and stuff. So it may be that I don't even bother showing you that part. I'll just point them out when I do the flip throughs. Because, you know, it takes a little bit to find the perfect phrase that you're wanting. I had a little trouble, you know, with the little paper bag journals. It took me a while to find just what I needed. And then I've got 3 books altogether. Okay. Okay, the other day, I usually am trying to post every 2 days, like I used to in the past. And what happened to me Now, this is something pretty that Chestita sent me with a pretty little witch lady. She's got her kitty cat there. And I have to glue her in behind there. So I'll set her to the side over here. We have this, which is a cool little piece. But, okay. So, I record my video. It was the one you saw yesterday, I think it was. Or day before. Whenever you're watching this one. But, it was where I have to, the way I do it, because everybody seems to have a different method. I record it on my camera, you know, I record a video, and then I will go to my YouTube and hit the plus sign that's down in the very center, and it will upload my video to YouTube. It's not public yet. It just loads it over there. And then I can finish whatever I need to do to it in my YouTube studio. Well, I was having so much trouble. And let me tell you, it was getting to me. Stressing me out. But what would happen is I had been just putting off doing these updates. You know, I do that all the time. But I didn't want to do these updates, so I just kept leaving them in my inbox or whatever it was on my regular phone. And so the video before that, I had no trouble, nothing whatsoever. And then when I did the one for the other day, what would happen, but every time I'd go to load the video, I can always kind of watch it if I wanted to, and I can hear myself talking and all that kind of spiel. Well, what happened was I couldn't even hear myself. And I kept thinking, what is wrong with this thing? So I'd go back to the gallery, which is where I can usually see all my videos and pictures and things. Well, there's this button there on the lower right. And it must have been part of that new stupid update, because what it would do is you could only hear your video when you push the button. You had to push the button to even hear yourself. So it would never work. It would never work. So I texted Tommy and asked her, because she's really smart on all that stuff. She didn't know. I think she uses a different method or something. I texted my niece, who's really smart on the phone situation, and she couldn't figure out. So I went and called Samsung. You know, I get some dude over halfway across the world. He can't help me. He says there's no way to go back from that update that had been done. And then there was something else. I don't know. He tell me all kinds of stuff, just try to get me off the phone, I think. But anyway, I think it was Tommy who mentioned going to YouTube Studio and updating it from there and seeing that that would work. And so I did, and oh my God, thank you, Tommy. Thank you, girl. Because it worked. And that's how I'm going to have to do all my updating and stuff for my videos now, is through YouTube Studio. And that's something. They're always wanting to throw a curveball. I hate anything electronically oriented that changes. I just can't stand that. I don't think we need anything else on this page. I mean, I got a bat. Maybe I'll put me a bat up here. I've got a few of them. It's a nice big bat, too. Maybe I'll go a little smaller. Okay. But it was unreal. I was going back and forth. And then my niece was saying, well, can you turn on the volume and then go to your YouTube and try to, push it? Well, every time I would go out of the screen. So I don't know if any of the rest of you have a Samsung phone and got a recent update, but, and do something with your videos. But it's, it's not going to work that way anymore. Oh. It's just... Ooh, I do have a big old spider here. Usually I cut these spiders out. I'm wondering if I can put another one down here. Or do I need to? Maybe I'll put a spooky lady's head. That might be better. Because maybe she came out of the graveyard next door here. So this is the way I usually craft. I'll just kind of lay everything out. I had divided everything up previously and figured out what I wanted with each one. And then I still had to come back in. Now see, it's not wanting to stick because it's on that texture paste. So that's where you would come in with fabric tack. And that may be what I have to do because it's just not sticking to this stuff. These were like little panels that I had left over the way I cut it before. Because here's a panel of that type. And then here's a panel of the one that had a script on it. So, yeah, we got this little lady. Now, this doesn't secure as fastly. There was one person that was asking me about glues. So, I have a glue video where I was comparing all the different kinds and what I used them for and this and that. Fabric tack is about $7, I think $7.69 at Walmart for the really big container. It's about twice its size. This is great. It's a little gooey. It's a little thick. But it sticks to just about almost everything. And then this is our glitter glue bottle because I got it one time and used it. But I love the bottle because it's so easy to maneuver with. But I've got Barely Arts glue inside. It's a little cheaper. And it's a little slower. Just by a few seconds. Once you put art glitter glue down, it's there. You better be happy with it. But if you use the other, this Barely Arts glue, you have a little wiggle time. Just a little bit, but you do have it. Now this spider, I feel like I want to cut him out and put him over here somewhere. It needs a little something down here on the bottom. And I'm trying to think with what I've got here, it's going to work, right? So, because I got the mushroom there. Don't think that's it. It might end up being... I got a little person. I got an extra spider, but I don't think I need him. I've got this where she could be holding the edge of the... But that really, she didn't really have anything to do with it. I try to keep them where they look like... Now, here's Undertaker, if this is a graveyard. But I got that mushroom in the way. Maybe I could put that up there. And then I got collection of specimens, which is kind of... that kind of looks good. So maybe I'll sit here and cut this spider out. And then we'll put the collection of specimens. So give me a minute. Okay, we've got it set up now. We got our spider. He looks like he's missing a few limbs. I may go back over this and fill in his arms. I don't know. But as you know, after my dad passed away, he passed away a couple days ago last year. Well, I think it had finally caught up with me or something. And I lost all my mojo. I lost all kinds of inspiration. I just kind of started sitting around. I guess I was depressed. Or that's the way I was showing my grief. But I almost dropped off the map. A lot of you that were watching me probably realized that. So anyway, I'm finally back to where I'm trying to get the mojo back. As you've seen, I've been trying to post every other day like I used to in the past, and it's getting there. I mean, it took Halloween, thinking about Halloween decorating, to get me there. And because it brings me joy. I love decorating and using stuff up. And I had so much Halloween stuff that I had bought in the last couple years. And that's my thing this year. I'm trying to use up stuff that I have on hand and getting rid of it. And it's been working pretty good so far. I've not bought that much. Now, some of these things like the stencils and the stamps and things like that that I purchased, that is actually what I consider a tool. And basically it is. You're not getting money for it, you know, with your crafting and all that. It's something you use to create something to get money. That's how I kind of look at it. Now I got my Micron pen here. I'm pulling out. It's a 01. I could go for the 8 that I've got up there, but I'm going to kind of delicately draw in the rest of this leg that got cut off. It wasn't even on the label, I mean the tag, so it's just something that I'm going to add in here that I feel like he needs. And this one's going to go down this way. There we go. This one, he might need a little bit more length to him. There. So see, you can always play around with your items. You can underline them, you know, put little brackets and things around them. I've never gotten into that look. I have seen other people do it, and it looks kind of cool, but me, I just never have gotten there. So like he doesn't know which way to point with those legs of his. Okay, now this is from one of those paper pads I had. It's the same one with this. I've been using a lot of these little things in my paper bag journals, and I forgot I had this one, so that'll come in handy. I've got this little brick thing up behind here, and I'm wondering about putting that down. I don't know if it goes that way or that way. It kind of, you know, it has either way. I have a skeleton here that may go pretty good. Usually the skeletons, though, I try to put kind of on, so this might not even get used. I didn't get inspired very much by stuff like that, so the maroon was the only thing pulling me toward it. Okay, we're going to go with some of this scorched timber ink, and we're just going to go around the outside of him to kind of make it look like the edge of maybe the hole, or maybe they've dug him out of the wall. You know, something good and gruesome. So maybe he was stuck inside of this wall here. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that needs to go on here with him. I've been running out of stuff. Let's see if I've got anything over here. Okay, this may be the way I'm going to go. I've got a flower down here, and then the histology and stuff like that, I'm going to work it around him. Now, he's going to go down first, so let's just put a bunch of glue in his center area, because I may tuck a few things under him. Let's see how this is going to work. Yeah, I've been using up a bunch of stuff, so I don't have much. I wish I had a couple more of those ephemera packs. Those were great. They had the word poison and stuff in it. But now, Wayne found a cool digital that has the words and things that you could use. So I'm going to have to get me something like that next Halloween. I haven't checked to see what else I have. I do have a spider something or other that I ordered from Pink Monarch Prints the other year. And I'm thinking about doing some kind of a, I know some of y'all don't like spiders, but I'm going to make like a spider journal. I don't know if it's anything I'll show you unless you really want to see it. Me making it from scratch. You'll have to let me know. I know some of y'all are You don't like spiders, in other words. You just don't like them. But I hate to say, but I love, I love little spiders. They're a joy to me. Especially the little jumping spiders. Remember me having one here, and I called him Henry. He lived on the bar. I think that's two. I need a little bit more room. See, that's what I mean with the barely arching. Still get in here and do a few things. What is holding this back? It's something right up here. Watch me poke straight through the thing. Okay, yeah. As long as I can fold over here, I'm good. So that'll work there. I can still see Paris, which is cool. I've got this green piece, and see there's some greens and stuff down in there. This kind of reminds me of a tombstone. So we're going to actually put it on top. I don't need to see all those little dotted lines. Those were some kind of a diagram, something or other, where Tim found this image. Okay, I've got an orangey one, which I guess I can go ahead and kind of glue down this area and this area. Get that down. And this little guy, I'm going to kind of put him over here somewhere. Just put it there. Oops. Trying to put it down. I didn't even glue it. Okay. Am I too far off the side? Let me scooch in a little bit. All right. Let me put that right here. I had this one body. Doesn't have a head on it. But the cover of one of these sticker books, I have the perfect head that would go on that body. And he's the one that I've used before in the coffin cards, where it would fold open and you could see inside and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I need to save that so I can make copies of it when I want to do that again. Because that was kind of a cool look. I did dirt around the outside. That's when I had some, yeah, some action and thoughts and things like that. Let me get in here and roll a little thing of glue. Don't know if I need that on this side. Can I get under there? Yeah. All right. Now, I like because it's like a brick size look, and that kind of adds to the whole image there. Now I can come back in with some kind of a phrase maybe that I can put down here with the sticker books. I don't know what I'd want over here though. That's too orange. I don't want orange. I have my witchy lady, which she could be standing here. What else though? What else? Before I've gone through and I've put stuff on each one of these pages. And it's really helped. Maybe she should be over here on the side. I got to figure out something else on this page with her. Okay, so I think it's going to be something like this. I have this skull, and I'm going to put 2 brads in there for his eyes. So I'll do that in a second. The little witchy lady, she's going to be on the top, so she can go there. I found a laboratory, which is kind of cool. So that'll go here. And then I had these 2 pieces from those chipboard and or layers and whatever set. So I'm going to actually put that over top of this. And you'll be able to see the bricks still, but just, you know, smaller patches of it. And it's kind of like, almost like a mantle piece kind of a situation. But it'll be leading back into her laboratory. And maybe she buried her husband over here in the brickwork to the side. He didn't listen very well or something, and she took it out on him. I don't know. So here we go. And I have yet to use those spider webs. I figured I was going to get in here and use them like a kind of like a heated embossed white image over top of some things, but I don't know if they're going to get used for this. It's kind of like you have ideas and you think you're going to use them and then you end up not. Like with the 3D embossing folders. I thought I was going to get in here and be making some stuff with them, and it just wasn't working out for me because I didn't want the added bulk in here, plus it would get mashed. I feel like they're better suited for like an outside of the cover kind of a deal. That's the way I was thinking. Now this, I don't want that white edge to show. Here, I'm inking, Phyllis. I'm inking. So I'm putting this here. She gets after me because she loves to see inking. I've just not been inking lately. All right. I do think I want to lift that up real quick because I think that little bit's going to have to get tucked under there. So let's do that and see what happens. Yeah, I think that's about right. So let me get this glued down. Now I whoops, I probably left this open too long. I've finally got around to making another short or two. So if one pops up in your feed, it'll be me showing a very small, for 15 seconds, a very small flip through of one of the skeleton journals and one of my paper bag journals. I haven't posted the paper bag one yet, or did I? I think the paper bag one had to go first because that was the first one I did. So anyhow, I'm trying to get back into that as well. I have been looking for interesting things lately. Now, what did I do with that hat? That hat was stuck right here. Where'd it go? Look, it's hiding on the back side and I couldn't see it. Okay. We found it. Alright, this is going to go. Got a little dab of glue there, and she's going to have a little dab on her forehead to put this hat on. Now, this is one I had to put my own little hole into because I'd already used up all the ones where he had pre-cut for this last season. And I need to get online and look because somebody said his new 2025 stuff was out. And I just haven't got on there and looked. I thought he would have a video, but they said no, it's just like on there for like a pre-order. Now, I did see somebody, Zoe Hillman. I watch her blog. I have a little, she sends a link to my email, and I can go into her blog, and I can see what she is working on and making. And she had made something with a house, a haunted house, and all this kind of stuff that it has a die cut that goes with it and all that. It was gorgeous. I love the look of that thing. So that's my next step of getting it. I have a stamp that is a haunted house, but it's doesn't have a die cut with it. See if I can get a little bit of that going there. There. Since this has a cover, there's a little bit of a white line that you can see, and I didn't like that. Okay, so we're going to put Mr. Skeleton, and he turned out a little darker. I've been debating whether to do him or this. I almost think that works better, to tell you the truth. because she could be posing as an undertaker, and the brown continues. Who else was shouting that at me? Good call, everybody. Good call. So it looks like she's got her own mortuary service going on back in here. She just doesn't bury in the ground. She buries in the wall. She says that's her kind of insulation. So we'll wait for this because, well, let me just pull out too. Because I'll need a couple of these to go in his eye for later on. And there's a gunmetal dark one in here. And that's the one I've been picking. Here's one right here. Let's see if I'm lucky enough to find another one. This was like a mixture pack that I got. I think it was it Michael's? Maybe? I think it was. I think I got it at Hobby Lobby. I think that's where I grabbed it. Okay, so what is next? I think that's all for there. And so see, all it was like a little bit of a background, and with a few things to tie in a story, it comes alive. Okay, so her hat. Just make sure everybody's pushed down and stays down. Now over here, something could be put. I mean, I don't know what it would be, but later on I could come back. Could have a kitty cat. That's true. This little kitty cat could be sitting here cleaning his paws. I got another one that has a little tail that curls up. I may have to cut me a few more of them. And that may be what I come back with. He's a little too off-center. So the other one that has the curl tail. He's my favorite, so I use him all the time. Okay, here is the witch book. And here's our sorceress. I don't know what else could go on this page. Maybe this little image. She's kind of got the tones going. And I like this page because it's talking about kids' cough syrup. So I figured that might be something. Let's see about this spider too. Maybe both of them could go on there. I kinda like that. It's got so much black over here. I'm trying to balance. She does have some dark tones with her. And then, I don't know, I kind of like that. But I am going to cut the top off. So I don't want that white hole. Okay, let me get my cutter up here. We're going to whack that top off and get it out of the way. There. Oops. So I think that will do the trick, y'all. I think I can get it up there a little higher where you can see everything. Now I'm going to put me a little bit of glue along this edge, because that's where it's going to meet up with her. And I'm not going to make it even unless it's going to be, no, the bugs in the way. Maybe I can make this part go up higher. Yeah, that works better, but it's not straight. Okay. Yep, I think that'll work. Let's get the rest of it glued down. And I think we could put a nice big black bat over top of it, which will, I think, finish it off. Oops. Okay. About like this. And then we're going to take a great big bat, if I can get my fingers on it. Everybody else is wanting to come. We're going to put that up toward the top. Okay. Kind of like right there. Yep. Think that works. Got a bat and a bug. And some unfiltered poison. Maybe that's what she got to take care of the mister with. Okay, next. Alright, I have a little moon over here. This was like the back side of one of those 4 or 5 papers that I bought for the main, look on the front and the back. I guess all I got in here is that one. Okay, so I'm kind of one. This is one that had the decayed texture paste image on it. Very hard to see, but it is very orange. So, a little bit of it sticking out on either side will be fine. But I think I could do this and the word fright, like Fright Night, because I got the night over here, which he needs a little tiny bat. So let's go ahead and put him a little tiny bat right there. And I don't know what these things over here are. If they're a crow, if they're a bat, I really don't know. They're weird looking. So we're going to have this little bat going through the middle of the moon. And then I'll go ahead and put this down. And I think I need to use some fabric tack because of it being on top of... Yeah. Being on top of the texture paste. Sorry, my brain went traveling for a second. Ooh. Has your brain ever went walkabout and forgot the way home? Yeah. Have that happen often. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and put the creepy crawlies on here. I think some of the colors go pretty good with this background I've got going. And I guess I've got to use the fabric tack on this fright as well, because unless I want to hold it down, maybe I'll just hold it down for a minute, because it's really hard to use fabric tack on anything kind of skinny like that. So let's just see if I can do that. This has got that glitter on the back side of it anyway, so that's not going to help too much. But I'm trying to get around having to cut any more of these words, but I think I might have to because of the paper bag journals. I've ran out because I used them all. And the new journals I'm going to be making, I'll have to kind of show you the basis for them. They're going to be like the simple journals I did at that one point. I also got to order myself some more Barely Arts glue. I think I might be running out. Okay, so, whoop. That was. Gotta get the H in there straight. And then dab everybody down. It's not too bad because I got a little bit of regular paper behind it, so it's catching that. All right. Yeah, I'll show you what I got to get up to in the next day or evening or something. Got to run to Walmart tomorrow with Mom, so that's all tied up. Okay, I think this little person over here, I don't really have something hard. I don't know why I keep trying to use that thing. I gotta precip it to chalk. And it's got a cool little background on it. Maybe I need something to stick out over here, but I need to color this up a little bit as well. So we're going to use a little bit of vintage photo on him. Just kind of here and there. And I think what I was going to do is leave him hanging out about this much. Okay, so that's what this video is getting made for. It's getting made for when I'm going to be gone tomorrow. To give you something to look at. I just took her, was it yesterday? I think I just took her, but I didn't know that I needed anything. So I just stayed in the car and listened to my AI stories. All right. There we go. Kind of like those branches. But she's going to hide them, I guess. That's okay. That's called layering. So don't kick yourself. I watch people and I think, oh my God, they did all that work. Or they had that cool image and then they covered it up. But it's called layering. It's part of the game. Part of the game. All right. Now I have that fright. It kind of hiding, but I kind of like that subtleness. Now I have a condemned label that I put in here, and this I don't have anything on here, so I can use regular. But the ghost or the skeleton, he's going to go down here. Even though this was a witch one, I had a few skeletons and stuff after I divided everybody up. That was going to go in each one. I just kind of like the look of the condemned going with the dead head. Dead head. Okay. The crown. It goes with the colors and the background here really, really well. Otherwise, I'd say it was not quite right. But I do like that. I do have a pumpkin here. And see, you got the orange and stuff going on over here. But I also have the witch that still needs to go in here. So maybe, just maybe, I'll just put me like this witch lady. I'm sure she'll stick in here really well. Okay, and then I have some little funny images. Not very many of them left. Okay, well, she's got her crystal ball going there. So maybe she's the queen witch. And that's going to be what she's going for here. Maybe I'll stick that out there. I gotta color this edge though. I just love the concept of these sticking out, you know, because it gives a variation, draws your eye, gives you a place to tuck little goodies. So that's how I do it. Yep, that way. I want to tuck a little bit of something in behind there. I'm trying to figure out what it's going to be. I do have a little, I don't know what that is. The image is on there. Just to be something different. Because I got a little bit of brown and light over there is what I'm trying to match up to. So let's see. Let's turn it around though. And go that way with it. Okay. And then we're going to turn it around here. And glue up the rest. Okay. Put it right there. Get it straight. Dab it off. Like at the doctor, dab it, mister, or give me a dab, nurse, or wipe my forehead. Oh, there. And I need a little bit more in there. There we go. So, I don't know what else it needs up here. it may be I come back in with something later on. Or a creepy spider that I have to cut out. I don't know. We'll stick him here just in case. I also had this one, but I kind of like the look of that. But it still seemed like it needed something else. Maybe I can put a word or something up in there. Now this one's got a lot of little tiny legs. Okay. There, I think I got them all. Not sure I got any glue on that one though. Until I see it, I ain't sure. Now this could be where we put one of those spider webs up here, because I got all kinds of different ones. Let me bring that over here and look at it. Make sure I get all these legs down. Don't want to decapitate him. No, that's your head. Amputate him. Maybe that's the word. Okay. See, this is the one I got. It's called Tangled Web CMS 346. And it's got all these different spider webs. But it's got this one, it's like a little corner web. And I think it's so cool that that might be the perfect thing for right there. So let's get a few things out of the way. I got Miss Witch here that needs to go over there. Get her out of the way. And let's get that one little piece out. I got one he's too big. See, they're all going to cover my spider, and he's already down. So it's got to be this one. Now I'm going to have to dig out a few things. I need to get my white embossing powder, my little tray, and all that kind of stuff. Okay, I got my web out. I got my Versamark watermark stamp pad that's got the glycerin on it. And then I have my Hobby Lobby white embossing powder. So we're going to go over it with this. Hopefully this has still got a good bit of goo on it. And then we're going to adjust it right up here in this corner. And I'm trying to grab the edge of each of this piece here. Not the end of the page, just this piece. Okay. And now, let's see if the magic happened. We're going to tilt that way. Oh. And then we're going to tilt it this way and let it run down the page. Let's see how she works. Okay. Sorry, you're not able to see some of that. It's going. Let me hang it there. Now, sometimes you have to get a little brush. Now, let me get that. I have a little stippling brush up in here that I sometimes use. And see, it's all up inside of the spider. So we're going to get that bit off. Now, it didn't quite do up to the edge, but I can come back in with my jelly roll pen and connect it. So let me heat emboss this real quick, and I'll come right back. Okay, that turned out pretty cool. It makes it a little bit darker, so it's standing out a whole lot more once you do the heat embossing. Now, where it didn't get all the way to the edge like I wanted it to, I'm just going to go in here and draw it in. There's always a fix. If you mess something up, it's always something you can do to fix it. Now, I'm not being all that neat about it here, but it's getting the point across. Okay. So there we go. And if you wanted to, you can actually put like a little line down there like it's attached to his behind. So we are going to finish this off another day. I've got a whole lot more to put in here. Now this might be a perfect place for this Black Witch. Oh yeah, that's a perfect place for her. I don't know if I'm ever going to use these, but I'll put them in here. And we'll see how she goes. I still had to put the brads in the eyeballs. I still have to cut my little kitty cat out. So there we go. And I will show you how many pages I got left here. What is on this one? Oh, another one of those. Now this is the very end. So this is that, what you call it, the embossed page. All right, so I'm going to show you a few things real quick that I'm getting ready to get into. Now, I need to do some simple journals before I take my first batch of journals down here to the shop. She's in the process of moving now. At the end of the month, she'll be in the new shop. Now, I sprayed some papers the other day, and just, they're kind of like, oh, what is the color? Oh, I done forgot the color. Antique linen, that's it. The antique linen, it's kind of yellowy, kind of little bit of a brown, little peachy. It's even got a little peachy tone in it. So I sprayed that on here, and I thought I had sprayed something else. I did one of the spritzes on here, lighter shades. I didn't want anything dark. And just a touch of, I think it was maybe the walnut or vintage photo. Now this one, oh, I didn't do the spritz on this one. That's right. I did do it on this one, and see how it's shiny? That's where that spritz comes in, where it gives you that kind of a mica glitter sheen. So I did one of each. And I see these are on just some backgrounds of some ugly papers I didn't think I would use, although now I'm going to do a couple paper bag journals that are pumpkin oriented, so they would have came in handy there. But anyhow, it ain't going to hurt nothing. So hopefully I'm going to be able to stamp some skeleton heads and stuff on here, some more of the coffin gewgaws and stuff like that. Now I've got the four papers picked out, and I've already done a score down the middle. These are 12 by 12s. So I scored it at 6 right in the center, and then I scored it at 3, which will be the part that gets turned up. Now, before you do any of that, you have to cut out this score line right here. And you cut it all the way up to there, and you're able to fold these up, glue the two, well, and you also do just, let me just do it. You do just a slight little bit of a, kind of a tilt there. You don't want a big one, but you want just a little bit, just so it doesn't get entangled in your center spine area. So I got one more little pair of scissors, and usually I will kind of pick it up like this, and I cut it right in the score, and then I'll fold it and see if that did the trick. Sometimes it's sticking down below, and then I'll come back in, and before I put that down, I'll put a piece of some kind of washi tape that I've got. Depending on if I want the color to show, I'll pick something that'll go with the background, and I'm going to pick out some kind of spooky gothic something or other kind of backgrounds to go in here. I picked out this one paper pad I got from Hobby Lobby, and as you can see, it's got some cool different kind of backgrounds in here. I've been going through them because I've used them for some stuff in the past, so I've got all of these that's left over, but something like that even. I think it's got a few black pieces left. Not many. I went through a lot of the black and the browns. So that is what my plans are. Next, I may do one more paper bag journal or something. I don't know. I love this background. I used that before in something. This is sort of a slate color. And then another one of the wood, but instead of going across, I went up and down. So anyhow, that is my next plans. I thought I would tell you about. So I hope everybody had a fun time watching me decorate this. I almost got all the way through it. And I hope you come back again and see me at a later date. Maybe in the next few days. And everybody take care. Thank you for coming by, my subscribers and viewers. I appreciate you. And take care. Bye-bye.